Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So as you guys know, I go on walks a lot. I wander. I have this insatiable desire within me, and always have, just to wander around where I live, where I am, look through the woods, look at, see what I can find. And the past few days I have been doing a lot of research on mushrooms, okay? And the connection and the symbiotic relationship that they have with trees, and how they contribute to forest health and forest diversity and all this stuff. And it's really piqued my interest, okay? So where I live, which is southern Virginia, southwest Virginia. So if you look at the shape of Virginia, I'm at the very tip on the southern side, or the western side, southwestern side. So there's like this little pocket that I live in, and it is a temperate rainforest. So if you don't know anything about temperate rainforest or rainforest in general, a temperate rainforest is somewhere that is close to the coast. So there is a few different ones throughout the world. There are like the northwestern Pacific Northwest. That rainforest, or that forest, is a temperate rainforest that reaches all the way up into southern Alaska, which is Ketchikan, British Columbia. Those places, parts of Britain and most of Ireland are what you consider temperate rainforests. They are cooler forests that are close to the ocean, close enough, like even if it seems far away to you. Like I live 5 hours from the ocean, from the East Coast, but still that's close enough to where we get this little pocket that it rains a lot. Like we have a lot of rainfall here, which contributes to, we get a lot of rain compared to most places. So that's what makes it a temperate rainforest. It is a rainforest that has an understory of a lot of ferns, lichen, moss. The main canopy, from what I understand, is like a spruce or a fir. And so underneath these, especially with pine trees, you're going to find the symbiotic relationship between the bolete family, which is like, most of the edible mushrooms that we eat as humans are in the bolete family. So the ones with the little cap, they're the cap mushrooms. Those have a symbiotic relationship with pine trees, or any kind of any type of pine. From what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, please, because I'm just now diving into this research and really getting into it. So like when you go into the forests where I live, you can really smell the mushroom activity. Now, what you know is a mushroom is not, it's like the tip of the iceberg for a mushroom, okay? What you see, what the flowering part, the fruiting body of a mushroom is just a sign that the network below, the huge, massive network below underground that made of tubes and filaments, that are kind of interconnected with a lot of tree roots. The fruiting body just means that the below ground activity is active. It is actively helping to digest and turn any type of logs or anything like that into soil. That's how, because if it wasn't for mushrooms, you guys, the forest, the trees in the forest or anything that fell, it would just continue to pile up and pile up and pile up. But because there are mushrooms, they help to break all that down and turn it back into nutrients. And they also, their symbiotic relationship they have with trees is so interesting. They swap nutrients with the tree that the tree can't normally get on their own, such as phosphorus, and there's another one, I can't remember, nitrogen maybe? No, not nitrogen. I can't remember, guys, but I know phosphorus for sure. The mushroom is able to give those so they do a swap, like the mushroom gets sugars and carbohydrates from the tree, and the tree gets phosphorus from the mushroom and other things. So it's really, really interesting. And so where I live, scientists, from what I've been reading, science thinks that the region that I live in may have undiscovered or not yet known to science types of mushrooms or anything like things like that. Science still really isn't sure what a lichen is. Lichen isn't just a one thing. It's like the fungus is like having a body or using its body for the lichen which is like a bacteria, to then feed off of things. So I've got some seeds here because where I live, you guys, nobody seems to care about anything. They don't care about where they live. They don't care. They throw their trash everywhere. Just recently, though, I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of videos back, there was two old ladies that had passed me in my video. And, you know, you guys know that I pick up trash every single time I leave my house. If I go for walks, I bring garbage bags with me because there's trash everywhere all the time, and I just hate seeing it. And nobody else is going to pick it up, so I just take it upon myself to pick it up. And I hope and pray that people see follow my lead and just start cleaning up. And I'm surprised to tell you guys, happily, it's a very nice surprise, because I seen one of those old ladies the other day. And when I was in a car, I was driving with Mark. We were leaving town. I seen her coming through town. She had a garbage bag walking with her. And that made me really feel good. You know, it's like, even if people don't talk to me, even if people think I'm strange and they just pass by me, they're following my lead, and they're picking up after themselves, or picking up, even if it's not after themselves, they're just picking up in general. And what I'm going to start doing now, and I've been wanting to do this, and I got my inspiration from one of my favorite channels, which is called Crime Pays, but Botany Doesn't. And he goes around and he botanizes areas. Botanizing is like cataloging and, looking at all the plant species in the area, therefore helping science and all that stuff. And he also does a thing called guerrilla gardening. I don't really like that term. He says he doesn't really like that term either. But it's where you just take it upon yourself to plant things. Now, you don't just want to go plant things willy-nilly. You don't want to plant things that are invasive. That are gonna create monocultures, which are gonna push everything else out of the region and create like this big heaping pile of, say, morning glory in my area. You do not want to plant morning glory in most areas unless it's like segregated to your garden. I wouldn't go out and do this and just plant willy-nilly. You want to kind of look at things that are like right now I'm going to start off with a lot of annuals. Most of these are annuals, and they're things that could help the region. So I'm going to be planting, I'm just going to take it upon myself, go down to the park, and I'm going to, in places that I know the city doesn't like mow over, I'm going to plant flowers because I think our region needs it. I think our park needs it. And I hope to eventually, help inspire children or anybody who sees me to, come ask me what I'm doing, and you guys can plant with me. Like, just, we keep waiting for this miracle to come and change our society, when really what we're waiting on is ourselves to fucking wake up and say, we're the only ones who can change things. So you have to do what you can. So I'm going to be planting some sunflowers, some calendula, some cardinal climber vine. I'm not going to plant this a lot. I'm going to plant it in places that I know flood, because it is a vertical climber. But the hummingbirds really, really like this. So do butterflies. I'm going to plant some moon flowers, some zinnias, sweet peas, and some milkweed. I'm not going to go overboard and just plant in any spot I see. Like, I'm going to pick places that are kind of tucked into the woods a little bit. So it's not in anybody's way. It's not getting in anyone's stuff, or I don't want it to like get out of hand and become invasive. I will keep up with these areas. So if I see seedlings popping up, too many seedlings or whatever, I'm going to be pulling them. Don't worry. So let's get down to the park and I will show you guys what I'm doing. So out here walking, and I'll show you guys these irises are about to bloom. They've got bloom stalks come up. It's starting to rain again, so I gotta get my umbrella back out. Okay, we're down here on the back road. I want to show you guys what this place looks like in the... Oh look, there's some really pretty flowers over there. Huh. Iris, some type of iris, or some... No, those are... I don't know. Here's a dogwood tree. Isn't that pretty? And then some hostas back there. And look at this dogwood tree. This is the next type of plant I want in my garden. So pretty. See, look at all the lichens and the moss and the stuff all over it. See that? Interesting. It's really wet here, and you can see they've planted that little bank up pretty nice. They tore this house out. There was a house sitting there. Lots of bulbs. And another dogwood tree. The dogwoods, they stay small. There's actually a legend about the dogwood tree. You guys can Google it if you want. It's like associated with Christianity and all that type of neat stuff. They tore that house out here. That was here as well. But yeah, there's all kinds of little bulbs back there. Lots of trash in there. This is an elm tree. I got a stick from him. So let's get down to the park. Alright, we're down here at the park, and as you can see here, there's some wild mustards. The creek is up pretty high because it just rained last night. The redbuds are out. The crows are alerting to my presence. This big old thing was not here a couple years ago. This big old bush. So let's walk down this way. You can see here I've got my glove, my seeds, and my little trowel. So we're gonna get to planting, guys. We got pine trees down here. Everything's beautiful. Look at that redbud. Someone's committing a sin of cutting down a tree. You can see up there that hill, or that mountain up there. That's the mountain I live on. So you can see here this bank is slowly just eroding. Crow. I wish I had a way to call back to him. But this bank is slowly eroding because there's no... I mean, besides the few trees that are here, they keep cutting more and more down every year. Besides the few trees that are here, there is no plant life. See that crow up there watching me? Yep, going back to the forest. Oh, going to a different perch to watch me. It smells so good out here. You could smell everything coming to life. So you can just see all this stuff is getting eaten away. The bank is slowly being eaten away. This used to be way out there. Like, see the edge? That's where you used to be able to walk. And now, it's just slowly, little by little, being eaten away. So I'm going to go down right here. But see, the problem is this creek down here floods this whole field when it rains a lot. Like if it rains, man, those bushes, you guys, those bushes smell so good. And you see those flowers up in there? I wonder what those are. Those are so pretty. But these bushes right here, they smell divine. You see this tree, he's trying to come back. He was a big tall tree, obviously. Sad. So let's go down this way and you can see more of the erosion. Man, you guys, I wish you could smell this. Just imagine like a petunia smell or a 4 o'clock, but like intensified. That's what this smells like. Oh my God, it smells so good. It's full of bees, I bet. You see all those little white, those big white flowers back in there. I don't know what those are, but they're everywhere back through here. Well, look here, a baseball right in the tree. Huh. Odd. So I think right over here is going to be a good spot to plant. Well, maybe not. It's right under this tree. Let's go a little further and cross the bridge. See how much they cut this back, though? They cut everything. The brassica, or the mustard. They cut it back so far. All the dock. There's a lot of good stuff out here. You see this bank, look at it. Oh, there's those yellow flowers that were up in the mountains that I was trying to show you guys. Let's go over there. You see this bank right here has eroded so much. There's no plant life. And oh wow, look at that, you guys. And as you guys may or may not know, the roots of plants are what keep things from eroding. So if there was a bunch of roots in these banks, they wouldn't erode nearly as quickly because there would be that root system to hold on to. Look at this bridge is going away slowly. Look at these yellow flowers, you guys. So I'm going to go back in here and plant some stuff. I want to see what these yellow flowers are. Aren't they beautiful? Look at this. This is like a little a cove back in here. Look how gorgeous. See, you can see this from my home, my house. My house is up there on that hill. Right up there. You can almost see it. There's the house, and that with the house, the green roof right above that blue house. That's where I live. But yeah, let's see. Look at these little flowers. Oh, look, here's some kind of strap. Look at these. These are what I was trying to show you. They look like tansy, but there's so many of them. So I'm gonna get to planting, and I'll tell you guys what I plant. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember this area, but look how different it looks. Okay, so after that really bad flood, you can see a few of the rocks have fell. A few of the rocks have fallen from this area, and this has kind of been pushed out more. So this wasn't like this. This looks really different. So you can see that rock there. It used to be that rock and all those rocks that are kind of leaned down. They used to be right in the middle of the path. And this was a lot like steeper almost. And then you walk down this way, you can see the rocks have been pushed almost. And over here they continue. All of those have fell from up here. All of this, that big rock fell. This one was pushed. So now you can walk over here more. You used to not be able to walk over here like this. Just shows you the power of water. So back there in that spot with all those yellow flowers, I planted some, along the fence line, I planted some sweet peas, I planted some milkweed, and I planted some zinnias. I think that would look really pretty back there. It doesn't look like anyone mows or weed eats back there. So they should be safe. Thank God they got their dogs out of that yard. So yeah, it should be safe back over there. I found an itty bitty shell. As you can see, this whole place is just being eroded really bad. Like all of this whole area is a floodplain. I don't see how those people live in that trailer over there. I'd be scared the thing would flood. All of this floods. Crazy how much this floods. But there is a lot of pretty stuff around here, so it doesn't look like they mow, or maybe they just haven't mown yet, but it doesn't look like they mow much over here. I just don't want to put stuff out and it get mowed down, you know, as soon as it starts to pick up some growth. My safest bet is close to the water, but the closer to the water I get, God, that person is just non-stop. The closer to the water that I get, the more chance it has to be washed away by a flood. So I don't know, guys, but I did successfully manage to plant 2 whole packs of seeds. Relatively quick growing things, and next week it's supposed to be in the 80s, which means things will grow very fast. I found a really cool thing of mushrooms. These are dogwood trees that I keep seeing, these flowering dogwoods. I would like to get down into the creek to get all the trash, but you know, it's going pretty quick right now. It's got we've got some steady, you know, light misting rain. So I think for now I'm just going to finish my walk, and then probably go back to the house, because I am just slowly getting more and more wet. And it's about 4:30. But I felt like coming out today and planting. So we were successful there. Just getting wet right now. So I probably won't finish this video at the house, because by the time I get home I'm tired and hot. But yeah, you guys should really look into the relationships between tree roots, well, trees and fungus, bacteria, mushrooms, all that kind of stuff. It's so interesting, and that's gonna be the way I want to go out. I'm noting it here for the record. When I die, I want a mycelium coffin. I want to be made right back into fertilizer and make me into a garden, you know, make a garden in make compost with my body, and grow a garden. That's what I want, because I love gardens. When I first heard about those tree coffins that you could do, I wanted to do that, because I thought that was really cool to like be put into the ground as fertilizer for a tree, thus turning into a weeping willow. I love weeping willow trees, and I think it would be cool to be turned into one. Now they have technology where a mycelium coffin, mycelium is the network of tubing and such underground. It's kind of intertwined with tree roots, and it decomposes your body in a natural, safe, environmentally friendly way. There's a few different ways you can do it. You can they can also now turn your body into fertilizer, like just straight compost, you know, which those are the best things to do. Like, why do you want to spend so much money, or put it on your family to spend so much money on a coffin and, you know, all that stuff, putting your body in a box in the ground, when you could just use your body as fertilizer or compost and go back into the earth from whence you came, you know. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna end today's video here. I hope you learned something new. I hope you something piqued your interest and you now can dive into a hole of mushrooms and trees, you know. It's such a cool world out there. Never take being alive for, you know, never take it for granted, because you could die tomorrow. The people you love could die tomorrow. So tell people how you feel. Tell people that you love them. Tell people that you appreciate them. No matter if it's your best friend or your coworker or whoever, just somebody who, if it's somebody who makes you smile, let them know that you appreciate them. Help them feel seen, okay? Everybody wants to feel seen. Everybody wants to feel loved and appreciated. And all it takes is a few kind words. That's it. So, do something good today. Make somebody feel good today. It makes you feel good in return. You know, if you can only do things for selfish reasons, do it for that reason. You know, it's going to make you feel good too. So, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.